Hey, Shalom Akim, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushua, Call Halal Yabashim Yahushua, Bashim Rakar Kadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and honor to you, sincere Akim, out there laboring across the four corners of the earth. Hey, real quick, you have this law, because if you looking for a good lead, sometimes this man is the devil. They got a lot of you can look up different laws basically by different keywords. Congress.gov. But this particular law, which was passed in December 2017, H.R. 4374, says this bill amends the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act to allow the FDA to authorize the emergency use of an otherwise unapproved medical product if the Department of Defense determines that there is a military emergency involving an agent that may cause imminently life-threatening and specific risks to U.S. forces. If a military emergency is determined to exist, the bill allows the Department of Defense to request that the FDA expedite certain procedures for approving medical products that would be reasonably likely to diagnose, prevent, treat, or mitigate such risk. And we know, of course, through the scriptures, that medical product that they're making a reference to is going to be the RFID microchip. And this is real sneaky. This is how a serpent moves. That's why we call Esau the serpent. Well, the scriptures call Esau the serpent. He's that old serpent. And the scriptures say what? Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. And that's why the men of the Lord, well, speaking for myself, man, that's why I labor, and that's why my brethren are laboring too, because we want that fear to be established. That's why we're warning the people. Uh, we we come out there to the highways and byways, and we present ourselves as a human sacrifice, a living sacrifice, because we want our people to have that fear of the power that has brought us to this point. They brought us to a low point and to a high point, and now we're trying to get back to that high point that was taken away from us when we were brought here in chains. But yeah, basically they had the ads running today, which is April 30th, for the 5G, right? T-Mobile and Sprint, they want to merge together and do a 5G thing, and they were talking about basically the competition. They can't keep up with us. And then of course you had a whole bunch of other mergers too. I think it was Time Warner and somebody else, and Comcast or something like that. So these different telecommunications companies, they're figuring out the what the new niche is gonna be for their the new meta game for what their place is gonna be in the new world order, and that's how they make money. You gotta fit in through that agenda, and that's what these companies are doing. They want to establish that Internet of Things society where everything is connected, where your mind is connected to the tower, and Esau can see everything that you're doing. And of course, like we always say, through his cinema, they give you hints at that. They show you and they tell you. And WikiLeaks. Now this is an old article. This is something that came from back in 2006. But something interesting I saw. It says this is China, paperwork from China. It says a single worldwide standard for RFID currently does not exist, although the United States question mark. So this stuff we always say this is an agenda. This is stuff that's been out here for a long time. This is something that has been plotted and schemed And a lot of times like this, China probably has better RFID technology than the U.S. because they kind of came at the beginning of it when it was still in its infantile stages. But you know, the devil being the devil, they're gonna use whatever technology they can to implement the New World Order. Another article from today. Scientist says RFID won't be optional, and may change the essence of what it means to be human. That's why we call this man Esau the devil, the old serpent. Why the fuck would you need to change what it means to be human? Especially if you believe in evolution, which most of these Edomites do. Evolution talks about you'll naturally, you know, go through cycles of adaptation, basically, and the strongest, the most fittest will survive. But these Edomites, they want to tweak that with some artificial shit. And you know, another question that comes up as well: if the RFID is implemented, who's going to be doing the implementations? Because there are not enough doctors or something like that. But these people who do tattoos, like this guy, you could tell he's a tattoo artist. He's got all the tattoos because tattoo artists, they like to practice on themselves. Tattoo artists, you have to get a license, I believe. You can. I'm pretty certain you get a license from the FDA for you to be able to use the needles, and that you know how to sterilize the different needles and stuff to be able to give people tattoos, even though the ink that they use is dirty and some of it comes from car engines. But that's the gist of that. All these tattoo artists, a lot of them could do it. Your doctor could do it. Pediatrician could do it. The nurses at the hospital could do it. These people, they've already sat down and they've already planned it out. They have to follow the scriptures. They have to follow prophecy. And that's what our people hate. They hate that there's a predestination for them. They want to be able to do what they want to do. But that's not the case. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is building up his men. He's building up the house of David to establish order here on the planet of Earth. And people hate that shit. Or not that shit. People hate that concept that something is being established that they can't bring down carnally. And the scriptures say what? A carnal mind is death. I believe that's Romans 8 and 6. But I'm gonna just skip through the article. It's gonna talk about, of course. Yeah, that's the devil. Microchip implants in humans are already a market. American company called Applied Digital Solutions has developed one approximately the size of a grain of rice, had it approved by the U.S. FDA. There goes the FDA once again for distribution and implementation. Not long ago, ex-DARPA director and Google executive, now a Facebook executive, I'm going to read that again, ex-DARPA director and Google executive Regina Dugan was promoting the idea of microchipping humans. She's a Facebook executive. Facebook, of course, we know, just redid the terms of service, just like all these different other websites. They want you to go back and look back at their terms of service. And this chick, I think brothers did videos on her, but
including authentication in just your daily habits. So I take a vitamin every morning. What if I could take vitamin authentication?
What?
Vitamin authentication. Look, I have one right here. Well, here, I'll let you hold it. Would you like to hold it?
I'll hold it.
Okay. So this,
You guys see it?
this pill has a small chip inside of it with a switch. It also has what amounts to an inside-out potato battery. When you swallow it, the acids in your stomach serve as the electrolyte,
That's what I do.
and they power it up, and the switch goes on and off. And it creates an 18-bit ECG-like signal in your body, and essentially your entire body becomes your authentication token. Yes, this is true. Okay?
Okay, but
Okay, so wait. So it It's really true. So what this means is that that becomes my first superpower. I really want this superpower. It means that my arms are like wires, my hands are like alligator clips. When I touch my phone, my computer, my door, my car, I'm authenticated in. First superpower. Like, I want that.
So we're not shipping that right away.
Yeah, no. We're not shipping that right away. But it sounds like...
This is FDA cleared?
So here's the thing. This is not science fiction. This pill was actually made by a company called Proteus, and they've developed it for medical applications. That pill has been CE stamped and cleared by the FDA. You can take 30 of those per day for the rest of your life.
And then what happens? Does your heart
Nothing.
beat change? Does your...
We can just tell that you've taken the pill. I mean, the medical
Does
application...
Google now know everything I do and everywhere I go? Because, let's face it, we like you guys, but you're from Google.
Just give him some water and let him take that pill right now.
Thanks.
Maybe Dennis, let me ask you, does Larry...
Yeah, Google will, if you take that damn chip, which those Edomites are laughing about, Google will know everything that you're doing. That was what the joke was. And you can see that bitch, she's been well trained and well versed on what to say. She was controlling the conversation. And she was trying to come with the gang. Oh, that's a superpower. Yeah, putting a microchip in you, that's not a superpower. That's you bowing down, like the scriptures say, Revelation 13, if you need to review it. That's you bowing down to the image of the beast. Point blank, period. If you take that chip, you're going to be destroyed. So, and interestingly enough, yeah, WikiLeaks, right? But there's no information on WikiLeaks about anything about the RFID chip. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was all done by Esau, like I said, as a Hegelian dialect thing, because Esau likes to do that. They like to pretend they're leaking information. A lot of this information that I've read on this website it's really not that important. A lot of it's not. So these Edomites, they have an agenda. This is a further step in the agenda. You know, the article mentions George Orwell, 1984. And then coming up next, you got this movie, which is kind of the same thing, Fahrenheit 451, which is about a society. It's the same thing as 1984. It's a dystopian future, right? Esau's attempt to create a utopian society, a perfect society, and he ends up creating a dystopian society, which that always happens in every book that Esau tries to create a perfect world. He ends up creating a shitty world, just like this one. Basically, they burn books, and the government censors everything. And just like we're seeing now, they're trying to ban the Bible out of California. How can you got all kind of books about homosexual, pedophilia, Kama Sutra, but you want to ban the Bible? Because they know and they understand the Bible. They understand, a lot of those Edomites, they understand what it's about. They understand the power. And they understand that's going to be a stronghold for the saints, the Israelites, the children of Israel. But with that being said, hey man, it's the time is creeping up right now. It's a calm before the storm. It's a quiet wave. And just like on this, man, these Edomites, they're trying their best to find out, this fake ass deep numerology. Numerology is not going to help you. The only thing that's going to save you is going, if you're an Israelite, first off, but then second off, you have to have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You have to call on that name. You have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and then Yahweh Bashem Yahushua will take you from there. So even then, you're not guaranteed anything. But if you're a good servant, of course, the Lord is going to use you. But with that being said, I hope that was edifying. Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, which is all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and the Bible Ball. Shalom.